Hey there, Cheesemeisters. That would have been Only You by the Platters. That was playing in the Peach Pit when Steve told Celeste that he was an asshole, and Celeste agreed. And Nat said, Here's some iced tea, you guys. This feels awkward to me.
It's on the house.
Yeah. I am Jeff, and once again, for reasons unexplained, Brandon is hard. And joining me on the other end of the internet, my host.
I'm Leslie, and I believe you.
Yeah, I'll always stand by you. Oh, it was Steve? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, never mind.
Yep. This week, Cheesemeisters, we are talking about Season 4, Episode 11, Take Back the Night. Original air date 11/17/93. So before I ask if you threw up in your mouth or threw something, because the answer is not if, but how often, I'm just going to wait for your apology.
Excuse me?
Yes, because what I learned from this episode is that I am a victim, and if you even think of maybe saying I did something wrong, then you are oppressing me. And women have all the power, and men are subject to your whims. And so I await your apology on behalf of all men from all women for rape.
Well, see, here's the thing. No.
Look, this will just go easy.
I know your kind doesn't hear that word. I know that no is not a full sentence or even a word to some people, but no.
You're being kind of a hick, is all I'm saying. Like, get with the program a little bit and just apologize on behalf of all women to all men for the fact that rape exists. Just go ahead, apologize. It's fine. You can do it.
I mean, look at what I'm wearing. It is my fault. Whatever reaction you have.
Yes. Yeah. Good. I will accept that as an apology. Thank you.
Wow.
Yep. I know. I'm very easy. I'm easy to please. All you have to do is take responsibility for everything that women have done to men ever. And I think you've done that. So thank you.
Well, that was the episode, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, this week's episode is a fucking mess.
I did not even know what to do with that.
I know.
I'm so bad at the yes and. This is a rough start.
That's all right. We'll be okay. Look, as this episode taught us, if you just go along with it, everything will be fine. It's probably better if you just go along with it.
If you just apologize for your own actions even when you did nothing wrong, you will survive this world. It's just going to be better off.
It's probably a good idea. Yeah. And this episode has a lot to teach us. I think that's true. So this episode, Cheesemeisters, everything comes to a head in a number of different storylines. We're past Brenda and Stuart, so she's back to paying attention to school and shit. And also, nipples! Wow.
Wow.
Of the episode, you were right about that.
Just in case you wanted to be sure, just in case any other women or non-binary people were watching the episode and going, I see what they're saying. Maybe they're not really saying this heinous shit. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do care about women. Oh, no, never mind. Those are Shannon's nipples fully poking through. Jennifer Aniston has nothing on Shannon at the end of this episode.
Those are nice looking nipples. I don't know what to tell you. I will say this. Like, speaking to someone who was quite upset that Pamela in Teen Wolf was wearing a bra under her towel, I feel like you would go, Brenda is at home at the end of a long day. She probably took that fucker off.
You know what I took it as? I took it as it was the end of the day. Shannon had one more thing and was just like, fuck it, I'm taking my bra off. I don't care.
And Brenda did too, because it was a long... You know what she was doing? She was taking back the night by taking off her bra. She owns the night now.
And that is her right.
Like
if
Batman.
That's how you're most comfortable, fine.
That's right. Um, like, ain't nobody taking back the Batman can't take back the night like these ladies did.
Fly just tried to get in my eye. I'm wearing glasses, fucker.
That rhymed, and you know it rhymed. Admit it.
It did. But you can't
Yeah.
make me do anything, Jeff.
No, of course not, because men have no power. Um,
None at all. Women
None.
have been puppeteering you all the whole time, but the thing is, we are so good at not acknowledging it that we don't even know it. We're really good at gaslighting you all.
100%. I'm glad we were in agreement on this. It's a good idea you had. Um, Jesus Christ. All right. So in this episode, let's see what happens to start this episode. There is a slideshow presented by Lucinda Nicholson to the basically the women at California University, plus Brandon and her husband, and David, who's back on the air. Everybody being the voice, the only voice of anything,
Yeah.
David. And they're showing animals, mating rituals, giraffes and snakes and koala bears, cute little koala bears. And Charlie Chaplin, who is a poonhound, apparently. And it's Take Back the Night week, where we celebrate raping people.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
god. Okay.
I don't know what we're doing this episode, you guys.
I'm going to interrupt this summary a lot because the fact that the event is a week, a fucking week, you think you're going to get people interested in this for more than one night?
Well, yeah, also, it's Take Back the Night, not Take Back the Week, everybody. I mean, just consistent branding would be helpful, is all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Yeah, it did not make sense to me, and I thought you would lose. I mean, you're already barely going to get any men to be interested in attending this anyway, but the minute you say it's a week instead of a night, oh boy.
Well, look, the men were having none of this. The whole episode, not a one of them wanted to be involved in anything to do with Take Back the Night. David tried to get out of the radio broadcast. Dylan multiple times did not want to go. I mean, Steve only went because he was about to get dragged publicly, and he figured he better be there for it, which is a choice.
It is a choice.
Yeah.
I think that speaks to some of Steve's self-hatred.
Yeah, that, and it's just easier to shoot that scene if he's also there.
Mm.
Because then you have to, it's you can just right afterwards have him and Laura talk to each other. So Take Back the Night week. Shout, by the way, flip side of the branding, shouts to Bake Back the Night, the Pie Collective. No notes, 10 out of 10. Jeff's kiss. Bake Back the Night. Here's some pies for your raping.
Oh my god, some man named that business. I know it.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Because as usual, this is one of the many rants I went on with Walter. I was like, oh my god, men won't let women have this. We don't want it, but like anytime you get into a conversation with a dude about, problems with rape, of course
he says, why don't you eat some pie?
I wish he said, why don't you eat some pie? No, I always hear back well, men get raped too. That's not what I said, Fred.
That's right, Fred, asshole.
Also, the only time you have to worry about that is if you're in a church or in prison. Shut up.
I like that you looked off camera like Fred was standing over there.
Listen.
I like that a lot. They were like, I don't know why you let Fred into the recording studio, but you're like, guess what, Fred? You're about to take some shrapnel.
Fred's footing the bill because, I know the patriarchy still rules things. So if someone's willing to give me a mic, then, okay.
There you go. Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
So Take Back the Night week. Lots of events that men weren't even invited to before last year, which is weird, but okay. It's just one more way that men are victimized in this episode.
I know.
Can you believe that they weren't allowed to come to the rape party that they caused? Rude, ladies.
From the very beginning, they are telling us women are dangerous. look at how these females behave in
Females.
nature, just
That's right.
eating their mates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get at me. They
And then in real life, they turn on you. They're
do. If like,
dangerous.
because here's what happens. Um, Look, you have sex with this woman, right? This little chick who just wants to be with a keg man. What are you gonna do? And it doesn't matter that you've got a girlfriend. Look, John has like 17 girlfriends. We don't think he's a good guy, but whatever, it's fine. And so then you sleep with this girl, and then she won't stop calling. Oh my god, she just wants the D. You know what I'm talking about? She won't stop calling. And you like ignore her, but your frat brothers are like, look, you got to talk to this bitch because she won't stop calling. Like she wants up on that Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Um,
God.
and so you're finally like, oh God, I guess I got to talk to her. So you take her to meet her at the Peach Pit, because if you're gonna anything, go to the Peach Pit.
Sure.
And Nat's a fucking charmer as always. Tells Laura, "Hey, Steve worked here for 3 days once. He's terrible with commitment." And he's like, "I didn't think it was funny, but it totally was." And then I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed it both times. When she goes to sit down, she halfway scoots over, looks at him like she expects him to same side sit with her.
Uh-huh.
And when he doesn't, she scoots back again. And I don't know if that was uh, the actress being slightly confused about the blocking or a really interesting choice by the actor.
Either way, it was a good move.
Yeah. Like it's like, oh, we're not on the same page here. Like,
I feel like that had to have been scripted. There were some choices made in this episode with camera shots that I'm like,
mm-hmm.
I see what you're telling me, and I don't like it.
I see what you're telling me with your mouth too, and the actions
Wow.
of literally everybody in the episode. What I was being told in this episode was not cool.
Nope.
And
You're
what
telling
Laura
me.
was, I know, I am telling you. That's what's happening right now. Weird way to call it out. Very meta. Well,
And I'm telling you.
speaking of telling people, Steve told Laura he had a girlfriend, and he's like, "Don't feel bad. We can be friends. How about if I loan you to another guy who can rail you? Is that okay? I have
Good.
frat brothers. Most of them probably, okay, some of them probably don't have diseases on their penises. You can have sex with them, but we all know you have condoms, slut,
Oh my god.
right? I mean,
She had this sexy lingerie on,
that's
or
right.
this sexed up lingerie. I mean, she wanted it, and I mean, you know what happens. You know how it
That's
goes.
right. That's what happens.
Steve is such a victim in this.
Every
Oh
man is a
my
victim in
god.
this.
I mean, but Steve is the most victim.
He is the most victim.
He's the
Yeah,
most victim. If it weren't for these dudes, his frat brothers, he wouldn't have had to sleep with Lauren or Laura. And
yep,
if Laura hadn't, had a condom, he wouldn't have slept with her. And
that's right.
all these people made him sleep with someone.
I
And
know
it
it's
was
rough.
really awful. And now he's accused of rape, and just leave Steve alone.
And even if he's not, Celeste's going to break up with him
Wise.
because, well, yeah. So Steve, consequences for Steve finally once for once. So there's that. So
Barely.
anyway, yeah. Um, so also during Take Back the Night week, Brandon has to go have dinner at Professor Randall's house with Lucinda and Deshawn, where Lucinda, she's a horn dog,
Oh my
just straight up
god.
fucking horn dog, to the point where Deshawn's like, "All right, I see what's happening here," and then she wants to like bone Brandon in the kitchen while Professor Randall's talking to Deshawn about sociology, and but they
Which
don't
was
because
it was
go ahead.
clearly their way of showing, see, men get harassed too.
Yeah,
We
no,
suffer as
too.
well.
We suffer mostly if you pay attention to this episode.
Oh, wow. Well,
Mostly.
see, as a woman, I didn't.
You didn't see that?
I'm just
Weird.
kidding. I paid very close attention. I took a full page of notes
Full
instead of my
page.
usual half page.
Oh, double notes. Um, I don't know why you even need notes for this because you just feel it all the way in your gut.
You
You know
know
what I mean?
why? You know why, Jeff? Because
Please.
the world has me so ingrained with the idea of no one will believe me. So
Right.
I must have facts written down so
I
that
don't
I
believe
can
it.
speak eloquently and calmly,
No.
and people might hear me and might believe me. I'm still as delusional as these characters into thinking that someday someone will believe me.
I don't believe it. Not a word of it.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll go back and watch it again.
I took notes too.
I
But
did.
you feel the stupidity of this episode. Like, just, it's, this is the classic 90210. Well, they tried, but really badly.
They tried, and this is the first time I've had the thought of should they have even tried?
Yeah, they handle this so badly. I mean, this is the subject matter in this episode that I can't treat seriously because the episode is so fucking ridiculous. And if I treat it seriously, I'm going to get angry, and that's not fun. Like, it's way more fun to just point out how ridiculous and over the top this is. But this is about date rape. It is a very real thing that happens on all college campuses all the fucking time. It's not new, obviously, because this is 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't new then either. So it's a real, actual, important thing to discuss. So just like all the shit that they did in season 1, where it's like, okay, I guess we're talking about wealth inequality via little league baseball, or sweatshops through fucking chick.
Oh my gosh.
Like they needed to do this. They needed to do something about this topic. You just, this show is not this show, one that tries to handle issues that affect the audience that is their characters, teenagers and college kids. It's not that show if it doesn't at some point try to tackle a story about date rape.
Of course.
They just do it horribly. I mean, so because I've short circuited what happens in this episode. When Steve breaks up with Laura, she goes to the Take Back the Night things, and she hears all of the talks, and it's not as easy to identify this. It's not like you had a gun put to your head. Look at how many people are victims of this. You're not alone. You can own this. Don't be afraid to call it what it is. Like, all the shit I just said is very correct and positive in what they're doing. But the way they're doing it is by like having all of these messages, these real, true, actual messages, talk Laura into accusing Steve of something he didn't do because, god damn it, he's Steve fucking Sanders. He's one of our guys. And this is the part that makes me the angriest. And this, like, I almost feel bad that this is the part that makes me the angriest because it means I'm angry at the women and not the men.
Oh.
But this Kelly shit pisses me the fuck off. And so Kelly, after this thing where Laura is feeling vulnerable and kind of looks like maybe she wants to share, and Tracy Middendorf, by the way, like, she's so good. Like, just, she plays unsure and uh, desirous of attention and approval
Mhm.
really well in her face.
She
Like,
plays confused freshman really
she
well.
does. She's really, really great. Um, I just wish she was not given this dumb shit to do. Um, but she's convinced. So Kelly is like, come on, come on. You can share. I'll be here. I will believe you. I will stand by you. I will support you. Um, have you thought about pressing charges? And here comes the list of shit. It's part of the list of shit that women have the power to do, and what that women should do based on this episode. But um, let's see, what can women do? I wrote a whole list of things that women can do here. Hold on.
Oh, we're told many things that we can do to prevent this because in
And once it
Smokey the
happens,
in Smokey the Bear fashion, only you can prevent your own rape.
yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, here's what women can do based on this episode. And this is why one of the things this episode is really about is that women have all the power. Um,
I wish.
oh my God, there's literally nothing men can do about any of this, according to this episode. Uh, Women can watch what they drink. Women can not dress like a sexy witch, which, by the way, I pointed out like 2 years ago. So you're welcome, America, and everybody else in the world. Um, Women can say no repeatedly. They can confront. They can speak up. They can go to the police. They can publicly shame their attackers to prevent future rapes. In fact, they probably owe that to every woman. That's what women can do.
Because all of this will be heard. All of this will absolutely be taken seriously. No one will question you. No one will
Mhm.
put your head on a spike. No one will ignore your claims and still go out with that person anyway. Nothing bad will come of you speaking out.
Right. Especially what Kelly does to Laura won't happen to you
Mm.
because Kelly, and then like they take, and then that Kelly takes her to Leslie Sumner Schulman or Schul. I can't remember which order it goes in. God damn it! But anyway, Leslie and Angela, who's the something student government, and and Laura describes her encounter with Steve, which we did not see at the time. So we have no idea if this is really the way that it happened, but it's the way she's experiencing it after. I don't know if this is the way she was experiencing it before she was told 100 times that she had been raped, but it's how she's experiencing it now. And the fact that I even have that thought is a mistake that the show made.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
it shouldn't. This is not the time to leave an ambiguous ending. This is not the time to, well, let's just have the audience decide. You know why? Because the way it's framed, it looks like she's wrong. It looks like
Yes.
she believes something happened that didn't happen.
Yes.
It also looks like the way they zoom in on her when he's breaking up with her, it looks like something switches in her brain
Sure. Yeah.
of
Yeah.
fatal attraction and
Now she's a victim.
and I obviously do I even have to say it? I don't like it. If anyone were to have any question about whether or not I like this, then you haven't been paying attention.
No. I knew you hated this when we started the pilot. Come the fuck on. I mean, I hate this. This is ridiculous.
This is why you have to give me content warnings, which thankfully you do.
Yeah, I do. And the episode title kind of gave you a content warning.
And that was the thing. I can't even remember how many weeks ago now that I've known.
It was a few.
It was a few because I saw the name and I went, fuck.
Yep. And it was worse than you feared, wasn't it?
You know what's really sad? I don't know if it was worse, but I was watching it with the numbness of someone who knows too much.
Of course.
I just sat there, kind of like the vine of the woman sitting on her bed with her arms crossed and the shades on, and I was just like, of course, this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this is what's being said. I'm not surprised. Look at where we. You know why I'm not surprised? Where we are today.
Yeah. Look in the White House, rapist. Um,
Because we try. No, I'll go on one more little rant. Because people try to share things with us, with the world, to educate, and it has done nothing.
well, it's part of the reason it's done nothing is because this is how it's been done.
Well, and so that's where I'm like, you know what? Maybe there are times, and of course, I can only speak to it with this episode because I'm in the demographic of, I'm a woman. I like
Right.
I can't speak to some of the other issues they've covered and we've questioned.
Right.
Those might anger people involved in that the way
They
I'm angry
fucking
about this.
should.
And they should. And so that is where now I'm finally seeing, like, you know what? Maybe it is better if you just don't try, because then all of this shit gets out there and people reference it like it's gospel.
Right. Yeah. And it's just so because we haven't even said everything that happens in this episode. We're so irritated.
Oh my
by
God.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's just like what it's really about, you guys, is what we're saying. Okay,
Yes.
this is fucking shit in this episode. So now that we've seen what Laura thinks happened after she's been programmed by all these crazy women with crew cuts, according to Dylan.
Oh shit, that's what he said.
He said he doesn't want to get lectured by women with crew cuts about how all men are rapists or whatever. Uh-huh.
As someone with newly short hair.
Mm-hmm. And Cindy's like, male backlash much?
Dude, shout out to Cindy, the one woman this week. Like, not even Brenda really said anything helpful. Cindy was the only one that was calling men out on their bullshit.
Yeah, and she only got to do it like once, but whatever.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, gotta slice some fruit. Eggplant. Because that's what this episode did. It emasculated men. See what I did? I came back around to my
well done.
Ridiculous. Yeah, thanks. And so Laura is now like, you heard them. I was date raped. And she's convinced of this now. Again, whether she was convinced of it before, we don't know. But it feels like she was talked into this shit. It feels like that's what the episode is giving us, and how it's directing us to feel, because we're not supposed to think one of our main characters is a rapist. That's not good for the show. So if you're gonna,
one of the things it's about, I wrote, guys we know would never do this.
I mean, that's not even subtext. That's the fucking text, because Kelly's like, oh, and John like pushed it too far with Kelly, and I didn't have a whole lot of problem with that scene, other than like he's just a dick when she decides to leave. Like, it wasn't like he was forcing himself on her. That wasn't happening. No. It was just they were making out and she said stop, and he got kind of pissed off that she said stop again, and they had an argument and she left. Like, that's what happened. But John's a dick and we all know it.
Yeah.
So Kelly was like, look, you can go ahead and tell everybody who did this to you. I know you can't press charges. It's been a week. You wore a condom. There's, whatever. All of this is the other thing. Women, you better report it right away. Otherwise, you can't do nothing about it. You're fucked.
Oh, yeah. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. And sadly, that shit is true. But then she's like, no, I don't even know John Sears. Like, I mean, I know who he is. Everybody knows John Sears. But I don't know John. It was Steve Sanders, and Kelly's like, you can't say that Steve did it. I know him. He's one of the good ones.
Oh Lord.
Kelly rolls straight up, not all men at Laura.
That's why we can't trust Kelly and her opinion of men, because if Dylan is the best that you've been with, I'm sorry, that's a low bar, because he's got some problems.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, she did let David see her naked, so there's that.
Wow.
I don't know.
I got nothing for that.
She has all the power.
She lured him in.
Look, she could have locked the door. Look at all the things she could have done. She could have turned around when she dropped her towel. You
She
know?
could have gotten stuck in something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she could have walked into her bedroom and locked the door behind her and closed the shades and activated the panic room before taking her towel off and getting dressed. Look, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things women can do. And David had on headphones. What did you expect?
She could
He
have
had no.
put teeth in her vagina to protect herself from those attackers, from those
Yeah.
rapists. Okay, also, I like the fact that she only references the guy from the Halloween
Uh huh.
episode and not the actual rape. Well, I shouldn't say actual. Assault is assault. I've said this many times. There are levels, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And she has obviously had incomplete and completed. Either one
Oh,
is traumatizing because
yeah.
we learn about that in the sleepover episode. But no, we don't talk about that.
I'm.
We don't talk about rapists.
No, we don't. You know what? I just like it when the show remembers shit that happened.
Fair, but
You
they don't
know,
remember everything.
they didn't. They didn't. But like, I grade on a curve with this because there's just times when the shit don't make no sense. But like, Nat remembered that Steve worked there once, and Kelly remembered the cowboy. Like, people remembered a couple things, and that was all right. I was
I
happy. But
just
Celeste remembered how she met Steve.
I just had a horrible thought.
Hmm.
I just realized Kelly Kelly is the women from that news movie um, who like all try to press charges about sexual harassment but don't actually believe women.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The Fox News ladies movie,
Yeah,
whatever. Well, yeah, I
Kelly's a
don't.
Fox News lady.
Well, she's blonde.
Ooh,
I mean, it's a prereq.
it is.
Um, but so back to the fucking bullshit. Um, uh, Kelly is like, you can't name Steve. It'll ruin his future because
He's a promising young man.
he's the most promising young man. You didn't even know that when that movie came out and that judge said that shit about that ass face. Like, that wasn't even a thing that people. But Steve was OG promising young man. Like,
Damn.
that's what we're dealing with here. And so Kelly's like, goes to Steve and is like, how could you rape? And
Just
he
like
was like,
that.
yeah, acting.
Acting.
Um, and Steve's like, I didn't rape, I just cheated. And this is like one of those cop shows where like you can't, like, you have an alibi for the murder, but the alibi was that you were like robbing your drug dealer. So you can't even use your alibi because it'll get you in trouble.
See, I went to two places. I went to Chicago. We both reached for the gun.
Sure.
And then I also went to Legally Blonde, where the woman, her alibi was that she was getting liposuction.
Yeah. You can't use your alibi because it'll get you in trouble.
Yep.
So yeah, it's the same deal. But Steve's alibi was like, I didn't rape her because it was fun times that I cheated on my girlfriend on purpose, and we did it together.
I just
Um,
cheated. She had a condom.
yeah, and then we see Steve's version, right? And Steve's version is, of course, sexy and shit, because until Laura had been convinced by all of these women and their crew cuts that she had been raped, Steve had just had some fun sex that he was going to be able to just put in the rear view. But all these women, with all of their power to talk her into this and coerce her, are about to ruin Steve's life, because Laura is going to go up in front of everybody at the Take Back the Night rally and say, Steve Sanders is a rapist. And guess what? Your primetime show is not going to end that way. So there's that, which calls into question why you even try to tell the story like this. Like, why put one of your main characters in it unless the message you want to send is, this is all really confusing, but don't worry, guys, nothing's going to happen. Unless that's what you're trying to do, I don't know what you're doing.
Sorry, you reminded me of something that I'll have to mention in Nostalgia Corner.
Oh, dear God. Okay. So So she's going to say her name, and
Someone should.
someone should. And Kelly gets up there and takes the microphone first. And Kelly does the dickiest shit you've ever seen on television. She knows that this traumatized girl who she just spent a week convincing that she'd been raped, she knows that this girl is trying to get up the courage to stand up in front of everybody and say, this happened to me and this person did it. And Kelly, fucking knowing that, gets up there and takes the microphone and says, sympathetic story time. This happened to me. I was dressed like a sexy ass witch. Donna, no fucking help, dressed as a mermaid, standing over there like an asshole. And fucking cowboy guy tries to rape me. Actually, not date rape, rape. I said no. He's holding me down. This is a violent encounter. Rape.
Yeah.
That, and the only reason it didn't happen is because a friend of mine saved me. And she didn't say it was Bonnie and Clyde. They were there. They helped. She said it was Steve Sanders. So Laura, shut the fuck up.
But she doesn't even stop it there, Jeff.
No.
She continues on with worse. She goes, and there have been other times, other, beds I've woken up from and regretted it, but that was my choice.
Right.
And it's not anyone else's fault but mine.
Right. You can't, what did they say? Blaming someone else doesn't make it their fault.
And again, why I say there are levels to this shit.
And
to think that, and this show clearly knew that, but they didn't want to go in depth with it because just like anything else in adulthood, it's not black and white.
Yeah. That's the fucking problem. Is there wasn't anything. There was a lot of stuff that they fucked up in this episode by how they decided to say it, but the points raised, the reality of the situation, the gray area that can exist, the fact that one person could think that it was like this and another person could think it was like this. All of those things are real things. The stuff that Andrea says, I make choices, and my choices could have consequences, and I have to own some of that. Okay, she's right about drunk driving. You know what I mean?
Sure, but Andrea also kind of got at my butt a little
sure.
with what she was saying.
Because they say it wrong, but go ahead.
They say it wrong, because like you're trying to say, yes, that's true, but someone can also abuse that.
Yes,
someone
of course.
Can take advantage of that. And you're not going to be able... I was just about to say, you can't cover that in an episode, and I'm like, you totally could have just had someone say what I just said. That's all it is.
Yeah. And Dan says, women rape and women get raped. Well, that's incredibly reductive, Dan. Generally speaking, sure, that's true. But that's not the right way to say it. It's not helpful.
So it's a completely different set of power dynamics in the ways in which those scenarios happen.
Right. Yeah.
Completely different.
And the other thing that I just realized is it's also a problem that they put those, there was 4 different points that Andrea and Dan made. Andrea makes the point about I'm responsible for what I choose to do. And Dan makes the guys sometimes get girls drunk. He doesn't say drug their drinks. He doesn't, I'm not even sure Dan knows that. You know what I mean? And thank God.
Too busy perming his hair.
Oh my God, that luscious mane.
Was big today.
That mane was bigger than the lions in the video. 100%.
And they were fucking.
Oh, they were ready. And Andrea, she says, what's her other point that she makes that I can choose to do this. I have to own my choices, whatever. And Dan's like, statistically men rape more than women rape. Like, the fact that they put the things that they were saying in competition with each other as different counterpoints of an argument, it turns a complicated and nuanced discussion into a back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you, it presents it as if those things are mutually exclusive when they're not. It's true. Everyone has agency over the decisions they make, and some agency in the consequences of those decisions. It's also true that people abuse substances, get other people to abuse substances so that they can no longer make decisions of their own. Both of those things are true. You don't have to say them like they're an argument against one another.
Yeah.
And so they're constantly putting these things out there that are factually correct and ham-fisted ridiculously.
Yeah.
To the point where the episode does not accomplish what it wants to accomplish because it's a fucking disaster. Start to finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand.
Yeah, because I had thoughts, and then I was like, I don't know if I actually want to go into that, so I'm going to leave it there.
Okay.
You, just like anything in this world, it cannot be reduced to one experience.
Mm-hmm.
There has never been one type of car crash.
Right.
There
Exactly.
has never been one type of murder. If there was, true crime wouldn't exist. Right.
But if the story you choose to tell makes it seem like, nobody could have stopped that murder except the victim, then you did it wrong.
Yeah.
And because that's like, they just, the men, they need, if you just listen to this episode, this is what the men need permission from the women to do. Because these women dictate everything to the men. They dictate when they can have sex, if they can be in keg, if they can go to CU, if they can be feminist, if they can understand poetry, because Brenda thinks that poem is about date rape. The men have to have dictated to them whether they're going to work the radio show during the march because they don't want to, but Don is not going to let his ass off the hook. Whether they can skip the parade. Men can't they can't make these choices. They can't even choose whose house they're going to have dinner at. Dylan's got to eat at Casa Walsh. Brandon has to have this awkward ass dinner. Men have no say.
No say.
In anything.
These poor men.
Mm-hmm.
It is a tough time for these young white men.
It's tough.
And it's not going to get any easier for them. Actually, don't worry. Your time will come in 2025.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it is astonishing to me. Just how much they made men the victim in this episode. And then the fact that they made one of the women characters a mouthpiece for it. And to be fair, that person does exist. There are self-hating types amongst all groups.
Mm-hmm.
And they ruin it for the rest of us. It reminded me of, do you know Carousel?
I don't. I mean, I know it exists, but I don't know anything about it.
It's fine. I'll say something crazy. You're not missing much. Because
Carousel just taking strays.
I know. You know what? Rodgers and Hammerstein will survive.
I think they're both dead.
It has beautiful music and is considered a beautiful show because it's from Golden Age of Broadway. Mm-hmm. But it very much has the message at the end, like, yes, your father hit me, but he loved me. And that's what matters most. Rough. It's so rough. It very much ruins the whole thing. Like, yeah. And Yeah, and this is very much that too. It's like, look, I've had some bad things happen to me, but at the end
Hmm.
of the day, I still have a choice. My body, my choice. It's totally that. No one could ever take this away from me, or at least the one time it did, I made a choice the other times, and that's what matters more. The
Uh-huh.
times I had a choice.
Yeah,
I don't talk about the other time because, self reflection.
that's right.
What a
Yeah,
concept.
yeah. Look, I'm not at a slumber party, you guys. We ain't talking about that one. Um, all of this leads me to what one of the things I fear 90210 is going to try to tell us over and over again. Um,
Tell me now.
it's kind of worse to be a guy who's accused of rape than it is to get raped.
I'm not shocked.
It's kind of worse.
I'm not shocked that that would be the stance. That would still, I'm sure many people today would still argue that, even though we have books like Know My Name by Chanel Miller being just talking about her experience of being, canonized in the
Mm.
courts. I mean, we have so many cases and people, yeah, I don't even, I can't even speak because
Uh-huh.
it's just me angry, and I don't, you all are not here to be educated by me, and if you need to be educated by me, y'all should have known this already. um
This ain't your learning podcast.
like, as listen, I do want to be an educator in the world and help people, but
Mm-hmm.
as I watched this episode this week and felt the bitterness simmering,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, you know what, there is no excuse for people to not know or understand why this episode is a problem. There is no reason why people, if I'm the one you're coming to, if I'm the first person you're hearing that rape is not a good idea, or that there
Right.
are multitudes to what is wrong, and also like how the term date rape is just a problem in general, like
Right.
that, like the more we say it, the more I'm like, why are we trying to make rape sound cute? Like
Right.
that's what it, anyway.
Rape brought you flowers.
Oh my god. That's what it is. It's, well, you got dinner.
That's right. Now it's time for some raping.
It's like, people, you either do know or you don't know. And
Yeah.
once again,
But
that's why we are where we are.
if
I need
you
more stressful,
grab that booty.
which is what.
Yep. Took us. Yeah, it's just like this whole week, this whole take back the night week. Rude. It's a night. Take back the night. Can't take back the. This is women overreaching again. That's what it's all about.
Trying to take more than they're given. Good grief. Why do you women want so much? We're already taking care of you. We're already going to marry you. We're going to give you the children you want. Why do you keep asking for more? God.
I know. Bitches be crazy.
Equal pay? Well, we want equal consideration when it comes to rape.
Yeah, I look. Don't accuse me.
That 100% of women that are believed, only 70% of men.
That's true. At 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
Oh my god. One of the things I thought this episode was about is how peer pressure hurts everyone.
I had coercion written down.
I mean, it's yeah. Coercion is a problem, peer pressure, it hurts everyone. Because again, I'll go back, if you all already forgot. Steve Sanders was forced to have sex with Laura.
Yes, he was peer pressured into having sex with her. Yes,
Not
of course.
just by her,
No.
but by his keg bros. He had no say in the matter.
No.
Guys, it wasn't even his condom.
No. Oh, she brought that. Man, look, if you don't bring cake, I can't eat cake. That's all I'm saying.
Cake.
Booty. No. But even in the storyline that we didn't really talk about, which was Deshaun saying, "Brandon, you take this test for me, or I'm going to tell Randall that you're fucking his wife." Which I know that storyline jumped up a notch, did it not?
It did. I was like, "What? Why?"
Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. So Deshaun's trying to pressure Brandon into taking this test, and Lucinda is trying to pressure Brandon into getting all up in it, and also probably just take the test because that's probably the whole fucking point at the whole time. You idiot! What did you think you were doing?
I will say, if you're gonna do the whole "it happens to men" shit too, then fine, do something that would typically feature a woman at the center of it. Have it be a man. Show how dating or sexual implications can also hurt men. Fine. Like, except no, I'm not fine with it. Like, I said it, and now I'm backtracking because I'm just thinking, like, yes, of course this shit happens, and I wish you all would stop ramming it down our throats, among other things. Like, we get it. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because we're talking about one thing doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It's
they're not in conflict, those two ideas. They both exist. They're both, yeah.
It's similar to when people try to say all lives matter, and it's like no one was saying they didn't.
Right. That's you're not. No, that wasn't the point anyone was making.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the point.
Yeah.
Almost out of my drink. Have to say.
Also, and just before we get to, I think there's one last thing that this episode is about. It's about drawing lines. Kelly drew a line with John. She said, "I'm done. I'm out on this thing." Celeste drew that line with Steve. She was like, "No, I can't." And I feel really bad for Celeste. I mean, did this not make you like Celeste a whole lot more?
Celeste is incredible.
Yeah.
I really hope she somehow finds her way back. I doubt she will.
Yeah.
But no, she was great. She handled it beautifully. Which of course she's going to, because they show one woman going a little nuts, a little eye twitchy about this, and you have the actual wronged woman handle it like a lady,
right?
Hair in her face, looking down. Well, it's my fault for going out with someone I met on TV.
I mean, look, I think the point you're missing here is that in both of those conversations, Steve was the victim, because he didn't have any control over the outcome. The women had all the power there. Laura decided she was going to go nuts. Celeste decided she was going to break up with him. Steve had no power.
No.
And so we feel bad for Steve. Motherfuck this episode.
We're
all right.
not even done. There's still so much that this episode is about. Like, I also wrote down, no one wants to call it rape. And when they do, it is with the hard R, and people immediately recoil. And it's like when you call someone a racist. Like, it's not, what did I do? It's, how could you call me that? Hey, how could you rape someone? Or I forget how you said it, which was like, how could you rape? And just, what? I didn't do anything.
I'll tell you who doesn't have any problem using that word. Brenda. Because Brenda is like, that poem, rape.
Oh, you know what? And I needed them to be discussing Lolita. Like,
and
calling out how, like, hey, this actually isn't romantic at all. This is weird.
Right.
Fucked up.
Yep. But Brenda's like, that's a rape poem. Rape.
But then she redacts on that. She's like,
she does.
It's romantic poetry. And romantic poetry could never feature rape.
No, couldn't do that. No. But Brenda did make that whole class uncomfortable. She was like, rape poem. And everybody's like, fuck. I thought we were talking about yearning and whatnot. That's what poems are about, not raping.
No, never.
Yeah.
It's never happened in literature.
Also, and Dylan is insane in this episode. Like, Dylan makes everything about Kelly and John Sears. It's like, you didn't have to get into it, baby. Like, it's not what it's about. Like, nobody, like, Brenda's like, rape poem. And Dylan's like, well, no, it's not. It's sometimes your girlfriend goes out with someone in keg.
Okay.
And the professor's like, what the Christ? What happened?
This episode was trying to set up some weird stuff. It was like, oh, rape. But what if Kelly and Dylan got back together?
Right. Yeah.
Rape. I'm being coerced. I'm going to be blackmailed. Oh, hey, Emily. Nothing bad happened with Emily.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And it's like, they're like, Steve is going to get outed in front of the whole school as being a rapist. And Dylan's like, John Sears.
I know.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean,
Dylan is like a one-track mind. He was locked in on this Kelly John Sears thing. It was he was acting like a nut job.
You know what? He came to this with the same energy that he did during Donna Martin Graduates. He was just like, well, I'm here.
That's right. Hey, I'll come to your rape march because I like a parade.
Oh my God. In one of my rantings with Walter over this episode, we were trying to come up with jokes. I said, I'm going to be as mad as Brandon when that football game was canceled.
Oh, they fucking canceled that. And then they canceled the pigskin prom.
I'm going to be as mad as David about not getting laid.
Oh, can you believe that Donna still won't sleep with David? I did, by the way. I liked that, though. I liked that thing where he was like, and the worst part is. And she was like, I know, it's very hard for you.
I hate him so much.
But I liked that exchange between the two of them. I thought that was funny.
Oh my God. Shout outs to Donna for talking about coercion and it not being consent. Way to go, Donna. You are like the one woman who spoke truth this episode.
I mean, you really talked Laura into thinking she got raped. Good job.
Oh my God. Okay, so speaking of talking people, that goes well with peer pressure hurts everyone because she was pressured into saying rape.
Yes.
It's fetching to, it's actually on Vogue to have, been raped. That is, I mean, listen, they totally, Mean Girls got some ideas from this. Have you ever been burglarized? Have you ever had a gun pointed at you?
Sure. Uh-huh.
Have you ever been personally victimized by Regina George? What?
Yeah. Yep.
Have you ever been personally victimized by Kelly Taylor?
I mean, Laura has. Fuck.
But anyway,
yeah.
This episode tells us how your trauma is only valid if you go public with it.
Oh, yeah.
And once again, and I forget if you've addressed this on here, but this goes in well with your theory that 90210 predicted the internet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we talked about it.
What is social media if not trauma bonding? Oppression Olympics.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you even interesting if you don't have PTSD?
Right. Yep. Do you even rape, bro?
Oh my God.
Fucking nailed that one.
But with consent.
Well, yeah. Here's what I'm going to say, just for the note for us. Don't let AI choose any of the clips for this episode. Because there's some out of context trouble going on.
I know. We will, man, we might not be able to use clips from this one at all, to be fair.
Or it'd be like, John Sears. You can use that one.
Fred.
Oh, yeah, you can talk about Fred. Yeah.
The butt.
The butt. Oh, you can always post pictures of the butt on the internet. This episode didn't do it. I mean, it's just bad.
It's really bad. And I don't even feel like they tried. I feel like the writer very clearly does not like women and has some ideas. I'm sure he thinks he loves women. Hey, some of the greatest people I know are women. I have a mother.
Right. Yeah. It's the my black friend of.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Or it's some guy who's like, hate women. I'm a feminist.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that men can't be feminists, but he's about as feminist as Justin Baldoni is a feminist.
Baldoni.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So, Yeah, I
I got
don't
no
allow.
Baldoni jokes, so
Well,
I don't have any witty Balmoni bonbons.
that is fine. There aren't
Yeah,
really any other jokes to be made
yeah,
about it.
I know.
It's done. It's done.
Oh, you know what else is done? Brandon, peace out. I'm leaving town. Taking a break. It's November. Somebody's got to leave.
I mean, I can't blame him because it doesn't seem like things are going to go well. Although I'm going to put it out there that Brandon's more likely to be believed than any of the women in this episode.
Oh, sure.
Although
Yep.
I would hope that Professor Randall would believe his wife, but in this instance, there's some shady shit happening. Uh, yeah, there's some shady shit happening because was Professor Randall also maybe in on like Brandon should just take the test without
Well,
saying it?
that is what Lucinda is saying.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Lucinda's like, Brandon, I don't know how you don't understand this. This is what you were hired to do. Because Randall doesn't want to have to live through another shitty basketball season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no gray area for Lucinda. She thinks that's what this is all about. And so it's totally fine. Like, let him just do that and me, problem solved. I mean,
That and me.
she is consistent, if nothing else. So points to Lucinda for having a true North Star called getting some.
Her line about "Have you ever done it on a kitchen table?" felt as
Uh-huh.
out of pocket to me as when Betty Draper turns to Dawn and goes, "Do you want to bounce me off the walls?" Like, are you okay?
Betty Draper got a freak on. Yep. Because
Anyway,
she likes British guys who say table.
table.
Oh, that's the thing. All right. So what did this hot pile of garbage make you nostalgic for?
Oh man, I had a minute where you were going into that, and I thought, "Oh, we're done." And I'm like, "No, I think we talked this to death." Um, what did it make me nostalgic for? Wow, I'm so glad I remember this.
Oh, good.
See, I have a feeling when you went to IU, you weren't privy to the delightful orientation musical called Welcome to College that
I don't believe so.
is maybe an hour-long show about, oh, what college is going to be like. And there are some questionable songs in there about being bi, some antiquated thoughts about that, party culture, and of course, near the end of it, after all the fun and games that they're trying to show us about college, there's a rape storyline. Oh, but not just rape, a date rape storyline.
Of course.
And it shows the two conversations happening simultaneously. The girl is talking to her friend and like, I didn't really know, and I tried telling him no quietly, and he didn't listen and he didn't hear. And then the guy conversation of like, she kept saying no in this cute way or blah blah blah, and I can't even remember now because clearly it was bullshit and it wasn't great and it was slightly better than this malarkey of I didn't say no or I didn't say yes, but I didn't say no.
Right.
But you didn't say yes.
Right.
And I just want to make sure people at least hear that.
Yeah. There's not implied consent, everybody. It's not implied.
No. So, yeah, I'm nostalgic for that delightful little orientation welcome to college musical that tried and only did slightly better than this show that was maybe 15 years prior.
Right.
Shout outs to anyone who went to IU and knows that musical.
I'm so happy I don't know that musical.
Welcome to college.
This is where it's like, I'm cool being Gen X. I'm good being my age.
I just remembered
Fine.
one other song.
Oh.
She's a slut and we're gonna get laid.
I thought that was in Greece.
Nope. But that was very much a song they sang in this. And again, I'm pretty sure they meant it tongue in cheek, but still not great.
No, not great. All right. I am nostalgic for the time in my life before I'd seen this episode. Oh, this thing's a pile of crap.
When you didn't know about rape.
Yeah, when I didn't know about rape. When I didn't know Bill Cosby was a rapist.
I'm nostalgic.
So happy for that time.
I'm nostalgic for a time when before people gave me a can of mace.
Gross.
I'm nostalgic for a time before men told me how to protect myself from
That
other
is a
men.
shitty rite of passage.
It really is. Like that was my other thing thinking about again, I don't want to say I haven't, and I'm not saying men don't get raped. Of course they do. But do you enter college with your parents pulling you aside and giving you a can of mace? I doubt it.
Nope, didn't happen.
Are you told what kind of drinks to avoid so you don't get date raped?
Nope, not
I don't
once.
think so.
Nope, never happened. Yep.
No, you had to look out for your communion wine, but no one warned you.
No, I never drank that. Look, here's the
Me
deal.
neither. It's juice.
It's not. It's no. It's not. It's not that. Oh, who cares if it's wine? It's a genital cup. Every mouth in that place has been on some genitals, and now they're on that cup, and now you're putting your mouth on it, and so every genital in that joint is now on your lips.
You
Yuck!
know,
I'll pass.
when people inevitably get mad at me for, calling out the church and their history of rape, I hope they also heard you call the communion cup the genital cup.
It's a genital cup. It's fucking gross. That's since my first communion. I'm like, nope, hard pass on that cup. Because here's your disinfectant.
Yeah.
You take a little towel and you apply the minimum amount of pressure.
Maybe that's why my dad never drank from it, because I do remember that might have been my first great example of someone setting boundaries. Is he would always be like,
I'm
"No,
good.
thank you."
Nope. I'm drawing this episode is about drawing lines, and that's me drawing the line between me and the genital cup at church.
Yeah.
Ugh,
You can
gross.
drink the blood of Christ and not get COVID from other people.
Yep. You know what Jesus didn't want you to have? Herpes.
You know what I would be in that line? I would be the one in line, and they offer me the cup, and I would just pull out my bottle of wine and be like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah. I feel bad that I couldn't get through saying herpes without laughing. Damn it.
It's okay. You tried. I think
I
you
was
did better
so
than
close.
you think you did.
Yeah, I right at the end, I just couldn't keep it in. That's some silly shit.
Neither could the guys.
No,
They're victims. Guys, it's
These-
so hard. You can't control your penis.
No, they wear sexy dresses and things. Feel bad for us.
I feel bad for all the men who are going to see my arms in this episode and I can't even get through it.
They've been attacked. Their eyeballs have been affronted by those shoulders.
I couldn't even get through it. Fuck you.
Yeah. All right. Who is your pick for the Steve Sanders Memorial Worst Person of the Episode, which may have been named after Steve Sanders in part because of this episode?
Color me shocked. I'm really mad at the writers.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at them. I'm not giving them the excuse of, it was the time. Fuck you.
No, this was poorly done.
This was so poorly done. And to any other time we've watched an episode and said, should they have done this? I don't know. It might have been better than not. No, I'm sorry. It's probably better if white men just don't tackle shit.
And here I am. Just tackling it. Fucking, I don't know, man. I told you earlier my worst person is Kelly because that shit she does to Laura is vile. Like it is,
and it should tell you so much that they made the enemy in this another woman.
Yeah.
The real enemy isn't the real enemy to women isn't men, it's other women.
Yeah.
And if that isn't what they were projecting in the 90s, I don't know what is.
It's in this episode all over the place. Like the women are the enemy of the women and the men.
And like even though you're right, I was like, no, I refuse. I'm not taking the bait. I'm not taking the bait. Like, yes, she sucks, but a lot of fucking people sucked in this, and it's mostly the writers who put
I,
this garbage in. Like,
I'm not disagreeing.
I'm never gonna listen to the episode, but if you, I would love to know how Jenny Garth feels about having said this shit.
It is. They did not bump on this episode nearly as hard as we did.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can't speak to their experience as people or whatever, but when they watched this, they didn't. They did not turn on the flamethrower.
You know, because in my experience, and this is just in talking about hell, even wanting an IC in the room, people who haven't had a negative experience in the theater really love to let you know, well, nothing bad has ever happened to me,
Right,
so why
sure.
do we need an IC? Fuck you.
Right. Yeah.
With my whole chest. I don't even care. Not.
Yeah.
I was nice before the election.
I was nice before I saw this episode. Man. All right. We fucking did it.
You know what? I have to say, though, I have really enjoyed discussing this episode. It is terrible, but it's kind of a nice break from the terrible that is outside of this.
Yeah. I mean, it's helpful to call bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and it like to be able to go, let me list all of the ways that this broke everything. Because, you know, like, I mean, I'm not going to take it overly seriously. Like, it's still 90210, and 90210 steps on their dick all the time. This is like maybe the one that makes me the angriest at how badly they handled it. So,
do you think this will ultimately reign supreme as my least favorite episode?
There is so much bullshit that happens in this show. It's really hard to say.
Damn it.
This might be the most egregiously terrible take that they've had on a subject.
Okay.
But man, some dumb shit happens in this show, and that's why I love it.
My other question was going to be, is this the one rape story we have this season? Because I'm sensing a trend, maybe, that there's just one a season.
One a year. I'm going to do a little... maybe. Yeah, I don't know if it's a one a year thing, but it's, man, the season's long. And I know how long these seasons are. And I was just scrolling down IMDb and I'm like, it just kept scrolling.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So maybe this is the one. So I don't know. Let's see what happens next week, Cheesemeisters, when we are going to watch season 4, episode 12, Radar Love. But before that, join us this Friday on the Peach Pot After Dark when we're going to watch a movie neither one of us have seen. And it's chosen. We were not choosing a rape movie. It just It wasn't. Nope. I'm good. I'm real good. And I know you're good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we went with a movie that features one of our guest stars. So we are going to watch Fallen next week, which is a Denzel Washington movie that I've never seen. I just remember the ads for. So we'll see if what I think it's about is what it's really about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So until then, Cheesemeisters.
Bye.
Bye.
No means no.